Over on the college baseball side of things, Wake Forest is your favorite to take it down. 8 teams left here, plus 260-ish out there for Wake Forest. LSU, your second shot. Florida, Virginia, Tennessee, TCU, Stanford, and then Oral Roberts bringing up the rear as far as the College World Series goes. I've actually had the pleasure of going up to Omaha, taking in the College World Series. It is an awesome experience. It is unlike going to a road football game. People aren't spitting on you and throwing things at you and calling you names because you're kind of all there together and you're going to see the same people over and over again over the course of the next several days. And so everyone kind of gets together and parties a little bit together and stuff. It's a really great experience. If you can ever make the College World Series, I highly, highly recommend it. But Ben, as we head into this thing, we got 8 teams left. Who do you like and why is it LSU?
Well, look, as you and I know, Matt, when you're an alum of an SEC school, baseball,
yes.
You just understand more, right?
Yes, nothing screams SEC like Missouri. Yes, yeah. Nothing screams SEC like Missouri.
We just understand it. It just means more in the SEC. So coming in, I only had 2 futures made this year. One was Vanderbilt 25-1. One was TCU 40-1. TCU, we're still live, still going. And so I would tell for the people out there, I know a lot of people have made futures throughout either the regular season or during regionals, super regionals. The whole hedging philosophy is very, very different once you get to Omaha because it's not just, it's not like we're in the divisional round of the NFL, right? It's like we have a double elimination, 8-team tournament. There are so many ways this thing can go. And so I look at it, and I've tried to identify the one team in each bracket I like just based on the depth of pitching, depth of hitting. And, I keep going back to Wake Forest at the top, and it's not sexy. They're the short shot. But I think at a certain point, we've kind of been ignoring them this whole postseason run simply because there wasn't that perceived, hashtag value on betting Wake Forest. But I did add them to the account. I basically went with one team from each bracket just as an immediate let's just see what happens. Let's see how far I can ride out this TCU ticket. But I also want 2 other teams I like in pocket. You have Wake Forest with the 2-time ACC Pitcher of the Year, Rhett Lauder. Dude is just filthy. Has a changeup that's low 90s and is basically unhittable. So I did, unfortunately, in Vegas, the best number is plus 240. So I did add them to the account. But you can find plus 275 at DraftKings right now, which is a good number. I mean, Matt, they go 5-0 in the regional supers. They outscore their opponents 75-16.
Yeah.
And on the season, they're outscoring teams 583-207. Like that is unheard of in college baseball. And they hit 9 homers against Alabama. That tied a single game postseason record. This guy Brock Wilken is their stud at the plate. 70 career home runs, all-time home run leader. It's a team that has no holes, no weaknesses. And I think because we always look for the longer shots in college baseball, because of the variance in the sport just inherently, we've just kind of overlooked Wake Forest. LSU obviously is a team that would scare me in that top half of the bracket. And I will be looking to bet the under in game 1 when those lines come out, LSU and Tennessee, because I assume they'll throw Paul Skeens, the ace for LSU, and he is going to deal. And I also really like Tennessee's combined pitching staff. They're at 3.75. Their weekend starting ERA. So I'll be looking at an under there. But bracket 1, I have to get invested on Wake before that number gets any shorter.
Benny in the pants.
Yeah, it's you look here. I'm trying to listen. I like your position on TCU. I like your position. I know you have Virginia as well. Like I just don't want to get involved in the other bracket because I think maybe the 3 best teams are all on the same side. And I think you could make an argument Wake Forest, LSU, and even Tennessee. I know Tennessee has disappointed, has some ups and downs over the course of the season. But, I mean, talent-wise, I think maybe the 3 best teams are all on the same side. And so it's real tough. And plus, you talk about depth. I mean, yeah, Skeens at the top is unbelievable. Might be the number 1 overall pick in the draft whenever it comes around. 188 strikeouts in 107 innings on the course of the season, if that tells you anything. But outside of that, the depth at LSU is at least a little wishy-washy and stuff. So, like, I like your position a ton on TCU and even Virginia because I think one of those other 2 teams, they're just in an easier road to the victory here.
No doubt. And ultimately, the step up in class for Oral Roberts, I believe, will be too much for that team. As great as they were, and I rode them. We talked about that last week in Super Regionals. But, yeah, I added Virginia just because, I mean, the pitching staff, they had 3 transfer starters come in. Their last 6 starts, they've allowed 8 earned runs combined. Their weekend starters, 41 innings, 5 walks, 42 strikeouts over the last 6 starts. Like, that is just unreal. And that was viewed to be the weakness of Virginia. So I'm getting them at plus 60 in that second bracket. I'll gladly ride with those 3 plays here into the World Series.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.